Welcome to another edition of Rivals. Scott Mitchell, Jason Buck here. Rivals has arrived, and we're going to Utah State University, where they have hired
the Aggies.
A new football coach who actually is an old football coach.
Yeah.
Gary Andersen.
Crazy. I mean, I honestly expected it, and I knew it was an option.
You really expected it?
Yeah, I just thought it was a high probability that they would do it. He's well liked up there. I mean, the way he left, and then the way he left Wisconsin, and then the way he left Oregon State was all kind of screwy, honestly, to say it nicely. But they're rolling the dice. I hope that they really tied Gary to a strong contract, meaning if you come in here, it's a long-term contract. There's some really costly buyouts, for people, make it expensive for people to come in and take Gary and actually make it profitable for Utah State and
I think
protect themselves. I think Utah State needs to protect themselves.
I'm shocked by this.
Yeah, I'm not super shocked.
Shocked by it because Utah State is a stepping stone job.
Yeah, totally.
Right. It's just one of those. It's not a long-term situation. They look for coaches who are up and coming. I'll give you a great one. Jay Hill at Weber State, great up and coming coach. Did a phenomenal job. Has done a phenomenal job at Weber State. That would be the likely next progression to go to a school like Utah State.
Yeah.
Where Gary Andersen has already gone on that merry-go-round. He's already gone through the cycle of the really hot assistant coach who moves on to be a head coach, and then he did a phenomenal job at Utah State. And I'm not saying Gary Anderson's a bad coach.
Oh, no.
And I believe he'll actually do a really good job at Utah State.
He'll do really good there. He'll win.
But I would be concerned, and I would be concerned for some of the reasons that you mentioned, that he went to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's like one of the best jobs in the country, and there was something that wasn't right.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. He didn't get supposedly he didn't get along with Barry Alvarez. He wasn't able to recruit the guys that he wanted to get in there. He wasn't able to do it the way he wanted to do it. And so he left. But where he left to, which is shocking,
is Wisconsin to take the Oregon State job?
But why would you want to leave that? Why wouldn't you stay longer and stick it out and do it? And maybe Wisconsin has a certain way of wanting to do things. And why take the job in the first place if you can't go and do it the way that you want to do it? So he goes to Oregon State. Oregon State is probably like the least desired job in all of the Pac-12.
Absolutely.
Not a hotbed of like great coaching.
I was shocked by him leaving Wisconsin to go to Oregon State.
But then he leaves Oregon State early.
Leaves what, $12 million on the table?
And I don't understand that to me, and I don't think we'll ever get the real story, but I guarantee you the real story why he left is not because of what he said, which was, they weren't allowing me to recruit. A lot of promises were made and just didn't happen.
I agree.
And it sounds like a reoccurring theme happening here. And so if I'm Utah State, I'm like, there's a history that's developed here, and Gary probably wasn't at Utah State long enough, unless Gary, to me, this is what I think, why he would go there, why they want him there, is unless he says, you know what, I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to use this as a stepping stone.
Right.
And I'm going to see if I can't turn this into a team like Boise State.
Yeah.
That I can't create some long-term stability and really build and
just retire there.
And just retire there.
Just be happy.
And just say, as long as I'm coaching, I'm going to be here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, he's got $10 million in the bank or whatever from Wisconsin and Oregon State, and he's going to make it his home and be there with his family.
Because my conversations with him have been where he's been happy. His wife is happy here in Utah. She's from Utah. He's from Utah. Yeah. And being able to stay here and kind of tie down some roots,
and that
I
is
think
Gary.
For him
that is Gary. I've known him since
thing.
Junior college because we played up at Rick's College together, and we're really close up at Rick's College. So I know him personally, his mom and dad, his siblings, his life, and he is very much a Utah guy. And that is 100% true that Stacy, his wife, would be happier here, and he's happier here, no question. So there's that chance of what you're saying. I think what you've built out here is potentially right, that he had to sit down with Utah State and says, this is going to be my last job. And you know what? If he'll commit to that being his last job, and he's 55 years old, he goes in there and he coaches his last 10 years or 15 years, and like you said, make it a Boise State type program, and he becomes a Lavelle Edwards of
yeah.
Utah State.
And maybe he realizes
power
that
to him,
you know
more
what,
power to him.
I've gone out into the world of coaching. I've seen it in the Pac-12. I've seen it in the Big Ten, and I really recognize that my greatest strength is being here in this program, building it the way I know how to do it best, and because he's an excellent projector of talent, and he's able to maximize and get the most out of players, and he's able to get beyond.
He knows Utah athletes. He knows his recruiting pool here.
Yeah, and he can do an excellent job at it. And because that's what I think he'll do a tremendous job, and could probably even do a better job if the players knew, hey, I'm not going anywhere, and he's going to stick around. All right,
agree.
This round of rivals is now over.
And we're off to our corners.
He's Jason Buck.
He's Scott Mitchell.
You can text us, dial us, and like us. And until then, we'll catch you soon.